Well, decentralized education can be beneficial for everyone. Let's consider why this is the case. In thinking about how effective equity education can best be achieved for all, we need to consider the role of governments. Central governments are responsible for a country's prosperity, development, and citizens' well-being. Education is vital in achieving national goals. Every country has a centralized and distributed government. Some countries have different levels of government: central, provincial, and local. In some countries, all government is under the central government. In others, there are different governments or administrations at the regional or local level. Each form of government organization has strengths and weaknesses. Education is essential to the lives of individuals for economic prosperity, work, and employment, self-esteem, well-being, health, and contribution to family, community, and country. Central governments establish the national education agenda, including policies, processes, and funding for education. In addressing a nation's education and training needs, central governments consider the needs of all citizens. However, the needs of citizens are not all equal across the country. The differences between us reflect our uniqueness and make us interesting. Though there are similarities between individuals and groups of people, we are all different. Some differences are because of ethnicity, beliefs such as religious and political, gender and sexual orientation, immigration histories, personalities and abilities, socio-economic situation, location. For example, people from rural and isolated areas often have different needs than those from urban areas. Equity education is about all individual citizens having the opportunity for quality education, addressing their needs and circumstances, and recognizing and accommodating differences. While we are all citizens of a country, we live in regions, local communities, and suburbs. We live in places. We access education where we live. So while a national plan and approach to education are critically important, decentralized education can address individual, group, and regional differences. Some of the problems of centralized education service provision are unclear decision-making, inefficiency in administration and funding, poor access to services that may not match the needs of communities and individuals. Centralized approaches are sometimes slow to respond to changes, can be inflexible and bureaucratic, and often apply one-size-fits-all solutions. Decentralized education can be more responsive to community and individual needs, efficient, transparent, encourage participation, better reflect local priorities, and improve access and quality. National governments can distribute the financial cost of education through shared responsibility with local communities. Decentralized government agencies in communities work directly with the people who live there. Schools are an excellent example of this. Schools in a district can connect with the community, and parents can be encouraged to be involved in the school's work and support. More local participation in education can increase local responsibility and support democratization, increase efficiency, accelerate economic development, and enhance education. Local decision-making focused on local issues can better address the local needs and situation. When local people make education decisions for their community, they do this understanding the local needs. There is commitment to success by local people because of their ownership and responsibility for activities. Local participation can result in better outcomes for individual learners, teachers, schools, the community, and the whole country. A study of about 10,000 development projects found that better results are achieved when bottom-up approaches empowering local decision-making are used. The main points that we want to make are that teaching and learning occur with individuals in a community, in schools at the classroom level. A teacher's help of student learning is best when focused on the learner's needs. Good teachers adjust their approaches, make decisions, and tailor their teaching to the child's needs. An education system that allows and encourages adaptation for individualized learning will result in the best learning outcome for the individual, the community, and the country. In ensuring equity education, having a clear understanding of the local environment, conditions, and needs are critically important because requirements vary across the country and communities. Effective decentralization of education is complex and can also create equity problems. Often there are inequities across the country, such as differences in living standards. Just devolving education responsibility without addressing these differences will not necessarily improve education outcomes and may increase disparities. In addition to sharing responsibility for the work, it's necessary to share the resources and finances to do the work equitably. Increasing local decision-making, leadership, and participation in equity education starts with you, living and acting in your community. You can make a difference in addressing inequities in education in your community through your job and personal activities. You can show leadership and do things that promote and support more equitable education. The solutions to better equitable education involve you. We will consider further how you can facilitate and support decentralized education later on in this module.